In this video, I'm going to show you on how to set up your scenario configurations individually for every module. So go to the WMS Studio and again on My Templates and select your template you are using. Now click on the Scenario Configurations button and you will see an overview of all modules you have in our application on mobile and on web. So now you can select the module you want to configure. For test cases, we use now stock counting settings. In the first page, you will see all possibilities to configure the general scenario settings. So now you can select for stock counting an individual default warehouse. In the video before, we selected a default warehouse for all modules. But if you want to have one module with a different individual default warehouse, you can select it in the scenario configurations. As well, you can select options or deselect options like allow an extra item scan or in which order the scans should be sorted. The next option is the document printing settings. So you have to buy a license for the automation service and then you can edit here the printing settings of this stock counting scenario. As well as here, you can select the label configuration. At the bottom, you have the option of the UDF settings, which means user-defined fields, and you have the option to add UDFs from header and line configuration. You probably know it out of SAP. There you have user-defined fields. So it's an individual field where you can select whatever you want to see there. And here you have the option to add it to the stock counting scenario when you added or created it already in SAP. The last option in the scenario configuration is at the bottom, the QR code. And if you click on it, you will see you have the option to configure your individual QR code setting. So in this dropdown, you can select the delimiter, so what separates the numbers. And here in the drag and drop, you have the option to select which numbers or which options, which identifier you want to have in your QR code structure. So you can simply drag it and then the QR code will generate automatically for the stock counting setting with these three identifier and and you can select here the delimiter between those three identifier. If you have selected it well, you can click on Save, again on Save, and again on Save Changes. And every change will now deployed in your template you are using.